Hey there moviegoers, it's Alex again with another edition of Talkeez. This week I want to talk to you guys about The Social Network. The Social Network, rated PG-13, is directed by David Fincher with screenplay by Alan Sorkin, based on the book Accidental Billionaires by Ben Mesrick. The film stars Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Justin Timberlake, and Armie Hammer. The Social Network is a story about the inception and the developmental years of the popular social networking website Facebook.com, and then the fame and fortune that came after it, as well as a couple multi-million-dollar lawsuits. This movie, although stated by the actual Mark Zuckerberg, creator of Facebook, to be heavily dramatized, is a pretty accurate depiction of what went on in the developmental years of Facebook. In this movie, Mark Zuckerberg is played by Jesse Eisenberg. Eisenberg is probably best known for his work on Squid and the Whale, Adventureland, and Zombieland. Eisenberg usually plays a kind of socially awkward, gawky teenager kind of thing. And although in this movie he is playing a socially awkward teenager, it was very different from the rest of them. Most notably because Eisenberg's portrayal of Mark Zuckerberg is very insensitive and naive. But I mean, the kid became a billionaire at age 23. Eisenberg was awesome. He was just so perfectly awkward that it almost didn't seem like he was acting. No offense. It was the kind of thing where you wonder how someone could fake that level of awkwardness. It was a really cool character to watch. Every single person knows someone like Eisenberg's portrayal of Mark Zuckerberg. His role was very understated, even though he was the star of the movie. But it really looked like a role that Eisenberg could sink his teeth into. Andrew Garfield, who's probably best known for his work on Lions for Lambs, Boy A, and the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, has what I think to be the biggest stretch out of any actor in this movie. Garfield was born in LA and raised in England. He's playing Eduardo Sovereign, someone who was born in Brazil and moved to Miami when he was a child. Kind of a stretch. But he does an incredible job. He's easily my favorite character in this whole movie. He was one of Zuckerberg's friends and co-founder of Facebook.com. Things were going really well, but after a while got a little uncomfortable for Sovereign. Some major decisions were made without him, and a lot of money was passed around behind his back. And then eventually, he's just kind of left by the wayside, which leaves him suing his best friend for millions of dollars. Garfield does a dynamite job of playing someone who's a victim, but is not going to stand idly by and let things happen. He makes you feel sorry for him, but at the same time you want to stand behind him and defend him. I can't wait to see Garfield in more movies. I think he did such an amazing job in The Social Network. Fun fact, he's actually signed on to play Spider-Man in an upcoming reboot of the franchise. Should be interesting. So I guess this Justin Timberlake guy is like a pop singer or something. I don't know, name doesn't ring a bell. As far as acting goes, I think Justin Timberlake's pretty funny. He's never done anything entirely special, but I think he's entertaining both on screen and with his music. I really wasn't sure if he had it in him to hold his own against a bunch of serious actors in a serious movie. But I was very pleasantly surprised. He put on an amazing performance, like nothing I ever would have expected to see from him. Timberlake plays Sean Parker, co-founder of Napster, the file-sharing program. He's kind of living off his fame when you first see him, but then he meets Zuckerberg and convinces him to take the next steps in the development of Facebook. He just seemed like such a cool guy, but deep down you know he's got something to hide. Timberlake nailed his performance. You'll see his character arc coming, but I don't think you'll expect this level of performance from Justin Timberlake. It was very, very cool. So next up is an actor named Armie Hammer. Kind of a cool name. Armie Hammer really hasn't been in a whole lot that I've heard of, minus a couple cameos here and there, but after seeing him in The Social Network, I could really get used to seeing him in movies, and I hope I do. Armie played Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, a set of identical twin brothers who are also Olympic rowers, who sue Zuckerberg for allegedly stealing their idea. Hammer was awesome. Usually when you see an actor playing a set of twins, it becomes one character. They're meant to act exactly the same, so obviously they look exactly the same and sound exactly the same. But that is not the way Armie Hammer plays a set of twins. Each one was his own personality, his own character. Throughout the course of the movie, I really couldn't decide whether it was one guy or two guys playing these parts. I had to wait to the end credits to actually find out. And I think that says a lot about his performance. I think this is the kind of role that should really set off someone's career. So this film is based on the true story of how Facebook.com came to be. It's a fascinating story of what big things can come from just a simple idea. It's the kind of story that seems almost unbelievable. This alone is great about the movie. But what really sets this movie apart was the way it was shot, and the way the sound was mixed. The movie had this very dark and cold shade over the whole thing. Even in broad daylight in California, you felt like it was unseasonably cold. It made for a really hostile and impatient feeling throughout the whole film. Also, the score of this movie was very haunted and understated, even when it was turned all the way up. There's one scene set in a nightclub where Mark Zuckerberg is talking to Sean Parker about his idea. The music in the club was playing very, very loud. In the theater, it was almost as loud as it would be in the club. The two characters are holding their discussion over the loud music, and you could barely hear them over it. If their voices were any quieter, you wouldn't be able to understand what was going on. So it really made you listen, which really made you feel the significance of the conversation and of the entire scene. It was just brilliant, brilliant filmmaking. In conclusion, I want to give The Social Network a solid 10 out of 10. I think it was just an awesome film to watch, both for movie people and people who just want to go to have fun. I strongly suggest this movie to anyone who wants to see a fascinating story told in the most fascinating of ways. It's this big budget movie, but with a very indie feel to it. And I think that if you're a user of Facebook, like me, seeing this movie will really make you appreciate the website more. So, that is it for this week's edition of Talkeez. Signing off for FingerLakes1.com, my name is Alex Sinacropi, and what I really want to do is direct. I'll see you guys later.